When I returned home after a 2-day work trip, everything was wrong, except the address. The door wouldn't open when I turned the key. Not jammed, just different. I replaced the lock, but it still wouldn't fit. My porch, once a peaceful display of native coastal plants and carefully curated decor, looked like a disaster zone, overgrown, trampled, and altered beyond recognition. The fresh paint was scraped, the native plants replaced with dying petunias, and a creepy cement frog, holding a welcome sign, stared blankly at the chaos. My custom mailbox? Gone, replaced by a rusty tin box that looked like it belonged in someone's junkyard. For a moment, I wondered if I'd arrived at the wrong house. But no, this was mine. Or at least, it had been. The realization hit hard. While I was away, someone had hijacked my property. I knew who it was before I even checked the neighborhood. Brittany Parker, HOA president, social media influencer, and master of overreach, had decided my yard was no longer acceptable. No warning, no discussion, just a power trip in flip-flops. Ever come home and feel like a guest at your own house? That's where I was now. Drop a comment if you're watching from somewhere, because I need to know if this madness is happening everywhere, or just Harbor Heights. I had been living here just under 3 months when I first crossed paths with Brittany. It was a perfect morning. Ocean breeze, bright sun, the kind of day that makes you feel invincible. I was installing a sleek document delivery box beside my front door. A simple, professional-looking fixture that matched the aesthetic of the neighborhood and followed HOA rules. That's when I heard her approach, flip-flops slapping heels, clipboard in hand, voice sharp and commanding. "Excuse me, what exactly do you think you're doing to your facade?" I turned to see him. Late 20s, mismatched designer clothes that looked disheveled, rhinestones sparkling on his phone case, his clipboard covered in stickers. He looked like he was ready for a photo shoot, not confrontation. "I'm Albert Calloway. Just moved in last month." I introduced myself, holding out my hand. He looked at it but didn't take it. "I'm installing a secure document box," I explained calmly. "It's fully compliant with Section 4.3 of the HOA guidelines." His eyes narrowed. He made a show of scribbling on his clipboard, then declared, "I'm Brittany Parker, HOA president. That installation disrupts the community's aesthetic. You need to remove it immediately or face fines, $500 a day." He thrust a violation notice at me, already filled out with the hefty fine marked clearly. I took a breath. "Actually," I said, "I've reviewed the guidelines thoroughly. Document boxes under 18 inches are permitted if they match existing fixtures. I can show you the section." His face flushed. "The review committee has final say." Chair, I'm telling you this isn't acceptable. You'll get formal notice within 48 hours. With that, he spun around, flip-flops slapping loudly, heading to his next target. I finished installing the box, took photos documenting its compliance, and knew this wouldn't be the last encounter. 2 weeks later, I received a certified letter, denial of my application, something I never submitted, and a demand to remove the box within 7 days. I responded with a detailed letter, including photos, references to the guidelines, and examples of similar boxes on other homes. I personally delivered it to the HOA office, requesting it be added to the next agenda. That same evening, I met Martha Donovan, a retired principal and native plant enthusiast. Her garden was a masterpiece of native coastal flora, the envy of the neighborhood. She warned me, "Brittany's targeting your privacy hedge next. He's been telling the landscapers to remove it, even though it's within the height limits." His eyes were serious. "You should come to the HOA meeting. He has a pattern targeting new homeowners, especially those who challenge his authority." The HOA meeting was held in the community center overlooking the beach. The room was half full, residents, anxious, bored, wary. Brittany presided, dressed in a gaudy, overly patterned outfit with rhinestones glinting every time he moved. When my turn came, I presented my case, showing the guidelines and photos. Brittany interrupted constantly, invoking procedural rules, rushing votes, trying to shut me down. All those in favor of removing the non-compliant installation, he called out. Raise your hand. 4 hands went up, his and his allies. The opposition? Martha and 2 others. The motion passed. Brittany declared, "We'll investigate further. A decision in 60 days. His confidence was unsettling. I caught Martha's eye. She shook her head subtly. This is how it always goes. Over the following days, I set up an advanced security system. Hidden cameras, weather sensors, smart lighting. Everything meticulously documented. I knew I'd need proof for what was coming. Sure enough, Martha knocked at my door. Brittany's. Been damaging non-compliant features during inspections. Mrs. Henderson's window boxes fell off during one. I thought you should know. Brittany was photographing my house from across the street. Her words on my security feed were chilling. Schedule the emergency landscaping correction for Tuesday at 10 Suro. His water system is always the last to go. I got a call from the courthouse. The Westmore case, my high-profile digital evidence case, was in chaos. The key witness documents had gone missing. I had hours to recover them. As I packed, my security alerts pinged. Brittany was across the street, clipboard in hand, making notes. I knew she was planning something. Driving to Sacramento for the court, I watched her. Her tactics, her manipulations. I had hours of footage showing her orchestrating the destruction of my property, tampering with evidence, and even photographing confidential case files through my window. When I arrived back home, it was worse than I feared. My native garden was replaced with water-hungry ornamentals, and my water was shut off, deliberately cut by HOA crews, I was told. The damage was extensive, the violations clear. I called a plumber, damage to the main line, intentional sabotage. My security footage had captured Brittany ordering her crew to remove and damage critical systems. She even tried to remove a weather sensor, claiming it was spying on neighbors. Yet I knew it was part of my discreet security setup. Throughout all this, Brittany was filming herself, performing for her social media followers, framing everything as a community improvement effort, but her actions screamed sabotage, retaliation, and greed. In every clip, her words, her gestures, her manipulations were laid bare. Her false claims, her attempts to hide the truth, and her blatant invasion of privacy, especially photographing. Legal documents were all documented. Now, with evidence in hand, timestamps, photos, recordings, I prepared to confront her legally. This wasn't just about HOA rules. It was about abuse of power, deception, and invasion of privacy. Brittany. Parker had overstepped every line, and she was about to learn that in the fight for justice, the truth, once exposed, is unstoppable. I stared at the footage playing on my phone. Brittany's voice was clear, her words cold and calculating. She ordered her crew to damage my main water line, to sabotage everything I'd worked for. The video was undeniable. I clenched my fists, feeling the rage bubble up. This wasn't just HOA petty rules anymore. This was war. Suddenly, my door burst open. I didn't hear her approach. She was already inside, camera in hand, recording everything. Her eyes flicked over my face, a mocking smile curling on her lips. "You didn't think I'd let you get away with it, did you?" she sneered. "You've been meddling, digging into things you shouldn't. Time to teach you a lesson." I backed up, reaching for my phone to call the cops, but she was faster. She lunged, knocking it from my hand. The screen shattered on the floor. "Not so fast," she said, voice sharper. "You're under my watch now. Every move you make, every secret you hide." I realized her camera was recording me. Live. She was broadcasting her power, her dominance. This wasn't just about HOA rules anymore. It was personal. She wanted to break me. I grabbed a heavy book and swung it at her. She dodged, laughing. Her eyes gleamed with madness. "You think you can stop me? No one does. Not around here." I had seconds. I sprinted to the back door, fumbling for the lock, but she was already in my space, blocking the exit. "Going somewhere?" she hissed. "You're not leaving until I say so." That's when I saw it, her phone still recording. I lunged, grabbing it, yanking it out of her hand. The live feed cut out for a moment. I threw the phone on the ground, smashing it. She froze, stunned. Then fury exploded in her eyes. "You'll regret that," she spat, lunging at me again. I shoved her back, grabbing a nearby chair. I swung it hard, hitting her shoulder. She staggered, but recovered fast. Her hand went into Gül. Her pocket? Something shiny and metallic? "Not so fast," she whispered, pulling out a small knife. Her face twisted in a cruel smile. "You're not going anywhere now." My heart hammered. I looked around desperately. There was no time to think. I saw the window behind her, wide open, my only chance. I lunged, grabbing her wrist, twisting. "The knife away." She screamed, trying to punch me, but I pushed her back. With all my strength, I sprinted toward the window. "Stop him!" she yelled behind me, voice shrill. I dove through the opening just as she lunged again, missing by inches. Cold air hit my face as I tumbled onto the grass outside. I scrambled to my feet, adrenaline rushing. The street was quiet, no neighbors, no help. Just her voice echoing behind me. "You can run now," she called after me, "but I'll find you. And next time you'll wish you never crossed me." I didn't look back. I ran to my car, unlocked it, and peeled out, heart pounding. I needed to get to the police fast. But as I sped down the street, I saw her silhouette at the window, still watching, still recording. That's when I realized this wasn't over. Not by a long shot, because Brittany Parker had just declared war, and she wouldn't stop until I was defeated. I dashed through the empty streets, shadows stretching long under the pale moonlight. My lungs burned, but I didn't dare slow down. Brittany was right behind me, her furious shouts echoing through the night. Every step pounded in my chest like a warning bell. She was close, too close. My hand trembled as I reached for my pocket, fumbling for the phone. My fingers felt numb, but I managed to pull it out and saw the screen flickering with a new notification. A live stream. Her face filled the screen, twisted with rage and triumph. "You thought you could hide from me?" she sneered, her voice crystal clear. "I own this town. I own your house. I own everything you care about." My stomach clenched. Her words cut deeper than any knife. I knew she was broadcasting, showing everyone her power, my vulnerability. My mind raced. What was she doing now? My eyes darted to her hand. She held a small device, sleek and sinister, like a remote. Before I could process it fully, she pressed a button. A deafening explosion erupted behind me, a blinding flash of fire, a thunderous boom. I staggered, gasping as a thick black smoke billowed into the sky. My house, the place where I'd built my dreams, was engulfed in flames. My heart felt like it stopped. I froze, watching helplessly as the inferno consumed everything I owned. The walls, the memories, my safe haven, all gone in seconds. I turned, coughing, trying to see through the smoke. Brittany's cruel voice boomed through the chaos. "Goodbye. Albert, you should have known better than to cross me." The fire crackled loudly, the heat intense. I was about to break, tears stinging my eyes, when I saw her move. Slipping into her car, her camera still live, broadcasting her malicious victory. "See you soon," she called out, her voice dripping with venom. "You're finished, just like your house." My mind raced desperately, her hand clutching the small device, the remote, the thing that had just caused my destruction. Then I saw it, the message flashing on my screen from an unknown number. "Stop her. Now." What? Who was behind that? My heart pounded harder. I couldn't stand here and wait. I had to act fast. Without thinking, I sprinted toward her car. She was trying to start the engine, but I reached out, grabbing her arm fiercely. She shrieked, fighting to break free, but I held tight. In that chaos, my eyes caught a glimpse of her phone, still recording. I yanked it from her grip and smashed it against the pavement. The screen shattered into 1,000 pieces, and the broadcast cut out instantly, her face twisted with fury and shock. She spat at me, bloodshot eyes burning with hatred. "You think this is over? You think you can escape me?" she hissed, lunging at me again, claws out. I pushed her back, heart pounding wildly. My hand shot into her purse, searching desperately. Then I saw it, the remote device in her hand connected to the explosion. I snatched it away just before she could grab it back. Her eyes widened with panic. "You'll regret that," she snarled, lunging again. But I was faster. With a surge of adrenaline, I pressed the button on the remote. Her face froze in disbelief. The device sparked and exploded in my hand. A small but powerful shockwave of electricity shot through her, sending her sprawling to the ground, unconscious. The flames raged higher, the smoke thickening. I looked around desperately, heart pounding, lungs burning. My house was gone, nothing but a smoldering ruin. But in the chaos, I spotted something. The faint outline of a safe, half buried under the rubble, untouched by the fire. My legs moved. Instinctively, I climbed over the debris, my hands trembling as I cleared away the ash and broken wood. And there it was, a sturdy, unbroken safe, hiding the secrets I'd risked everything to protect. My breath hitched. Brittany's plan had been to wipe away all evidence, to erase my life in one explosive act. But she'd missed this. Her desperation had blinded her. The truth was still safe, still mine. As the fire engines roared in the distance, sirens piercing the night, I took out my phone and recorded the scene. The burning house, the safe intact, Brittany unconscious on the ground. I knew this was the turning point. Her reign of terror was ending. Her lies, her manipulations, her violence, they all came crashing down tonight. And as I stood amidst the wreckage, a strange calm washed over me. I whispered softly, almost to myself, "This isn't just the end. It's the beginning of her downfall." Because I had the truth, and no matter what she'd done, that truth would set me free. The flames flickered fiercely, casting long shadows. I looked at the safe one last time before turning away. The world was watching now, and I was ready to reveal everything. Brittany Parker's dark empire had crumbled. I had survived, and I would make sure the world knew her real face. And as I drove away from the wreckage, I knew I'd never forget this night, because this was the night evil was exposed and justice finally caught up.